I'm Dr. Kemi Lawrence. It's Monday, the 21st of October, 2024. Let's talk about Bobrisky and the developments from this morning. First, I'm going to talk about last night. I did a TikTok video here at Dr. Kemi Lawrence TikTok to tell you guys that Bobrisky was avoiding going to the National Assembly today because he definitely knows they're going to hold him and they're going to lock him in prison to go do the full term. I'm not saying that Bobrisky did not go to prison. I'm just saying that he did not spend 90% of his time in the prison, and he has to serve what the judge ordered. In all of this, why is the Nigerian mainstream media feeling that they cannot call out the judge and interrogate everything from the bottom up? A judge sentenced you to prison, not to house arrest. No one's ever talked about this judge. At the end of the day, we still don't know the Godfather. And Bobrisky's conversation with Falls specified a Godfather who had spoken to Haliru Nababa, the head of prisons, that he was going to an apartment. Now, gathering that Bobrisky himself is a liar, okay, and Bobrisky can really pathetically lie, you have to look at both sides. So this morning, he did the obvious. I warned you last night. What did I say? I said, VDM, don't go to the National Assembly. You've done your work over there. You don't need to go back. It's not a courtroom. It's a National Assembly panel. So let Bobrisky show up this time and do his. Remember I told you that last night? So this morning, very early, Bobrisky fled Nigeria. He was arrested and caught at the Cotonou border, Republic of Benin, and brought back to Nigeria by Nigerian Immigration Services. He did not even know that his passport had been deactivated. Remember I told you last night? I was kind of hinting you, but I didn't want to put it all there. So, the passport being deactivated means you can't travel out, okay? And if you travel in, they'll arrest you. That's how that works. And they have to check those passports at the Seme border. Okay, the Seme border is very busy. There's a lot of smuggling going on there. There's a lot of car importation. Illegal stuff is coming to the Seme border. And that's where Nigerian customs usually operate. Now, that border is famous because many people fled Nigeria through that border, okay? The Walisho Incas, the different people that escaped Abacha's, wrath. However, after Bobrisky was handed over to the Nigerian Immigration Services, he's still at their offices. I don't know why they're holding him. Because what's happening in this government, you need to know Nigeria and the structure of government and the corruption and how these things work. They are over there in the National Assembly lying in the federal panel that Bobrisky spent time in prison. Uju Agumo, okay? Uju Agumo, the head of Power. Okay, prison rehabilitation, whatever the acronym is for. In the reading, when the National Assembly opened in the House of Reps, during the reading, Uju spoke and said that he has no evidence that Bobrisky spent time outside prison between the 12th of April and the 5th of August, 2024. That's supposed to mean what? That Bob actually stayed in the prison all the time, but they admitted that he got, privileges. Those privileges, I've always said it from day one when I was in Port Harcourt prison. When I exposed Port Harcourt prison, when my documentary is coming up, you'll be shocked. Why do we have some inmates having privileges based on their socioeconomic status? It's happening a lot in Kirikiri, and it's got to stop. If you're a politician, you stole money or you did something wrong, okay? You need to do the time without the privileges. We're not punishing people. We're not rehabilitating people. What we're doing is we are letting them enjoy themselves inside the prison, and that's wrong. Somebody in the House of Reps did ask that question with regards to, are we just pacifying them? Why do they have privileges? Is this as a result of corruption within the prison officials? Yes. The prison officials take these monies and do extra things for inmates that have the money to pay them. An average prison official is making minimum wage, at least that 30,000 stuff. Now it's increased. So everybody's looking for something that will get extra from their jobs. Nothing wrong in getting extras, but if it means it is now giving one inmate a privilege against another inmate because of their socioeconomic status, that's wrong. We don't know where this is going, but right now, Udru said they didn't find any evidence of Bobrisky living outside the prison. But what about the phone call? That's where the Falaners wanted to distort all the information. The phone call happened. Bobrisky himself, as the known liar, called it AI. Then False came and said, I did not call Bobrisky. Bobrisky called me. That sentence literally disabled the whole AI idea. So now we left AI behind. We're working on right now. Real life. No more artificial intelligence. Let's call it NI, natural intelligence. What about all those tapes? What about the Godfather and Haliri Nababa's name mentioned? They wanted to hear from Bobrisky today, and the prison officials were there. I don't know if the EFCC showed up, but VDM was not there. I said VDM should not show up. In a courtroom, yeah, you can all show up and be talking to the judge and everything, but you have to remember this is not a courtroom. This is a federal investigative panel. And where are the Nigerian investigative journalists that have been on this case for the last 30 days? Where are they? Are they investigating? No. I told you how this thing is done. They don't investigate anything anymore in Nigeria. And those that do it don't have the money to do it. So don't forget to support me. Because someone needs to be digging on the facts. The federal investigative panel is still going to close things up. I did a video on this about 2 weeks ago. It's on this page. Talk to your children about Bobrisky, because this is just mimicking what we saw in 1998 with President Bill Clinton in America and the Monica Lewinsky case. You can always Google that on Wikipedia, the Lewinsky scandal with Bill Clinton. And he was impeached but wasn't removed in office. Your children are going to see a lot about oral sex. That's all my children watch, 8 and 12 years old. Now they're 37 and 33. It was all about oral sex. They were asking us, what is oral sex? When we came back from work, because it was on TV 24/7. Bobrisky is behind me. Look at that BBL behind me. Is this what your children are supposed to be seeing? Nudity? A man who's cross-dressing? I know people who cross-dress for a living. They do their cross-dressing, they go back into their male worlds. But this one, okay, when we have an anti-gay law, it's not acceptable for your children to be watching day and night. They will get hooked on these things and they'll find the internet. Your children will find the internet. They'll get internet access, and then you'll see all this stuff. And then before you know it, they themselves will be cross-dressing. Don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against cross-dressers. I'm just saying this has become a national scandal that has exposed a lot of parastatals. The EFCC has quietly said, oh, nobody paid us to get a presidential pardon or to drop money laundering charges. The Falanas have fucked up the whole thing. You cannot cover these things up in Nigeria forever. I'm Dr. Kemi Lawrence. Kemi Talks.